Good evening, everybody. This is your marketing director and host this evening, Tara Minson from IntelliTravel.com, and I want to welcome all of our IntelliTravel agents to our interactive webinar. Just another one of our exclusive inspirational, educational, and fun events for you. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your busy evenings to join us here and help grow your travel opportunity and learn more about your travel business. I understand it's summertime and everybody has holidays and vacations and weekends, getaways, and you name it. So I appreciate everybody putting the time in and joining us here. We are here for you every single Tuesday and Thursday with these kinds of hands-on training with our partners. However, tonight's training is a little more important for a lot of big reasons. So IntelliTravel prides itself on training and customer service for over 25 years. And just a reminder for everyone, since we're talking about training, the IntelliTravel Thursday night training conference calls have actually changed. So that's right, for over 20 years, we have had our agents dialing in on Thursday nights to the same phone number and listening to our live radio shows with all kinds of great tips and supplier special guests and so much more. Well, everybody can delete that phone number from your phone book because IntelliTravel has moved our weekly calls to a virtual podcast. So what does that mean exactly for you? That means that you can get the same great training and tips and advice and supplier interviews just by subscribing to the IntelliTravel Travel Agent Show on whatever device you want, your phone, your tablet, your computer. You can listen to a new show every single week. They can be saved for you, so you can always listen again and download to whatever podcast app you use. You don't have to worry about cell service or Wi-Fi ever again. So keep an eye out for helpful hints and instructions on your inbox on how to download the show to your device. And there'll also be a link in your IntelliTravel Agent back office site, too, as just another little reminder for you. And just as another bonus, very soon you can listen to that podcast show in your downloaded IntelliTravel app. Lots of exciting stuff going on right now. Watch your emails and your excellent online calendar of events in your back office for more of our special guest appearances and by our travel partners on our long-standing Tuesday night webinars like this one and our virtual podcast shows every single week. All of it is brought to you free by IntelliTravel.com. like all of our training is. And all of our webinars are archived and available for replay in the IntelliTutorial section of your back office site. So if you missed something you want to see it again, it's available for replay whenever and wherever you want. At the end of tonight's event, we will have a live Q&A session, like always. We also will have a great special prize to give away, like always, too. You must still be on the webinar at that time to win. During the webinar, feel free to type in your questions in that chat box. At the end of the webinar, we'll read and answer as many as possible. Also, watch that chat box for some other important information like website addresses or some other key tips and reminders throughout tonight's presentation for you. So let's talk about something really important, right? I mean, everything we talk about is important. All these training events are important. Everything suppliers have to teach us is important. But tonight's a little extra important, right? And I said it before, but IntelliTravel has been in business for over 25 years. But we have strong relationships with all of our travel partners also. Not every host agency can say that. Not every host agency can say that their relationship is as strong as with the top travel suppliers out there like IntelliTravel. So just like any strong marriage, it takes work and it takes a strong partnership mentality. So your home-based business and travel is just another important marriage, right? So being marketing compliant with your home-based business and travel means making sure you are marketing yourself and your travel business and using the right language online, in print, and in person. Our industry partners and relationships only work if we are sure to focus on selling their product. Always remember that everything you do as an IntelliTravel agent is a reflection on all other IntelliTravel agents. So we have an obligation to protect each other. It's a very simple policy when you follow the basic rules that we're going to cover in tonight's webinar, like introducing yourself with the right language. Sounds silly, right? Everyone knows how to introduce themselves, but are you using the right language? Again, IntelliTravel's golden rule, maybe you heard us mention that before, but the golden rule about 2 business opportunities: social media guidelines, print and other trademark usage, correct versus incorrect selling points, income first, an income opportunity first. What it means to be more than a website, industry privileges like FAM trips and agent rates, tax benefits. We're going to cover all of that and so much more. And I'd like to bring on, my partner and my president of the company to really help everybody understand how to do a self-check and make sure you are marketing compliant. And what better person than to do that with us this evening than Mr. James Ferrara.
Thank you so much, Tara, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special event, and I'm so pleased to be here with you. I don't get a chance to do as many of these as I'd like, but as Tara said, this is a really important one tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we were talking about what to name this webinar, and we're going to steal a little bit from Spike Lee. We didn't actually wind up naming it this, but this is the idea, right? Do the right thing, run your business in the right way, and that business will continue providing value for you for a long, long time. Now, Tara mentioned some of the things that we're going to cover this evening, so I won't go back over this list right here, including the golden rule that you have two separate business opportunities with your Planet Marketing opportunity and your position as a Planet Marketing representative, and separately your IntelliTravel travel agent opportunity and travel business and your position as an independent travel agent. You're going to hear us keep coming back to this. That's why we call it the golden rule, because it's so important, and we're going to keep coming back to it throughout the presentation this evening. Let's talk about why compliance is important. Just like any other business, just like any other industry, the travel industry is a sort of circle of relationships between travel agents, our industry partners, the other players in the industry, our customers, and then back around to us. And perhaps even more so than some other industries, the travel industry is relationship-based, right? And that's true of network marketing also, as many of you know. So in travel, those relationships still play an important role in the success of a travel business. Who you know, what your reputation is, allows you to have special access to special support, to special pricing even, believe it or not. And so we tend to think sometimes of travel as a very high-tech business, a technology-focused business, and certainly as a huge industry worldwide, $8 trillion and up. And so it's kind of funny to think that an industry like that still relies so much on relationships, but it's true. It still is in the travel industry who you know and who you are. So why is compliance important? First off, with our industry partners, and those are the brands, right? The cruise lines, the hotels, the resorts, the car rental companies, the airlines, and so on. Those are our industry partners. And our relationships with them can be affected by compliance, right? They want to see us focused on selling their products. That's what makes them happy. And in exchange for that, they provide us certain support and advantages, and of course, compensation. But it is a circle. Always keep this circular image in mind. Next is industry regulations and regulatory authorities. So what is the industry at that level looking at that macro level? They're looking at our reputation, our credibility. And in exchange for that, for example, in exchange for the fact that we are in the president's circle of vacation.com, that we are at the highest level of membership in CLIA, and we actually have a seat on the CLIA advisory board, those things give us, again, special access in the industry. It allows my executive team to sit down with the senior executives at the major travel partners in the industry and negotiate on your behalf to give you the advantages of special pricing, special access, more educational support, more VIP treatment for your customers. So again, it's that circle. If we're seen to be out of compliance, we break the circle, okay? And we might break it with industry partners, or we might break it on the macro industry level with the regulatory authorities or with our reputation. And then finally, and by breaking it, then we lose all those advantages, right? We lose that access, that pricing, that support. And then finally, compliance is about protecting all IntelliTravel agents. Okay, we don't like having rules for the sake of having rules. We are concerned about you, and everything you do, as Tara said, and it says right here, always remember that everything you do as an independent travel agent is a reflection on all other IntelliTravel agents. So we have an obligation to protect each other. We all work under that same brand, and we've given that brand value, tremendous value after 25 years, and we don't want to do anything to harm that value for anyone else. Your fellow agents are relying on the value of that brand, right? And so I don't want to get too scary about this. It's important that you understand it, but as long as we all act within the rules and we act responsibly and we keep in mind certain basic ideas, then we're fully protected, and we have we glow, we bask in the glow of IntelliTravel's brand and value. So it's very simple when you follow a few basic rules. First of all, let's start with your language. Agent, rep, member, partner, oh my, right? Our words make a difference. This is a life lesson, true in all of life, and it's particularly true in business and in IntelliTravel's business in the travel industry. So start with the correct language. You are a Planet Marketing representative, or you might use words like a distributor or a leader, or certainly if you've achieved a rank, you want to use Go Builder, 1-star director, 2-star director, and on up, right? You might want to refer to yourself as a professional network marketing representative. Any of those things is fine. When you're talking about Planet Marketing, you are a representative. You are never a Planet travel agent. And I know this can get confusing for some of you because you've come from prior opportunities where this stuff was mixed together. But that's exactly one of the great advantages you have now working with Planet and IntelliTravel, is that we got it right. We don't mix this together. We don't confuse what's going on. We keep it straight and compliant. So you are not a Planet travel agent, you are a Planet marketing representative. You are an IntelliTravel travel agent, however, and I know you get that, but what you are not is you're not a member of IntelliTravel. You are actually a bona fide, recognized, accredited travel agent. So use that. Member is wrong. If you say member to a partner, they have no idea what you're talking about. If you say that you're a director or you've become a gold builder to Royal Caribbean Cruises, they have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't mean anything to them. And worse than that, it makes them concerned that your business focus is not selling their product. So we're going to talk even more in depth about when you're talking directly to different groups like our partners, what's appropriate to say or not say. Same on social media, in person. We're going to go through it all for you. So you're not a member, you are an IntelliTravel travel agent, you're not a director for IntelliTravel, you're not a gold builder for IntelliTravel. Those are Planet marketing achievements, and great ones. Your Facebook profile, this is a big one. What title should you use? And we see a lot of people struggling with this, and it really is very simple. You are a Planet marketing representative and an IntelliTravel independent travel agent. And I'm going to show you some examples in a minute of folks who've got it real right, perfectly right, and have even gone beyond it and used some very interesting language, because you can call yourself a certified dream maker if you've gone through that program with us. We just came back from Baltimore and it was amazing. You can call yourself a vacation consultant, a travel consultant, or a travel designer. I've seen some really beautiful ideas out there, so such great creativity. But in general, you're staying with this concept: a Planet Marketing representative and IntelliTravel independent travel agent. Tara's with us, and I want Tara to jump in here when she has something to say, unless I don't like what she has to say, and then I'll mute her out. Tara, do you have anything you want to add to this concept?
No, but thank you. No, but I do have to say that that term, IntelliTravel independent agent, a travel agent, is an extremely powerful term, and it's extremely powerful title. So I think everybody should just be really proud that they can say that, because not everybody else can say that. Not downplaying that, a Planet Marketing representative is not a powerful title, but to say that you are a travel agent, a dream maker, a vacation builder, that's a really powerful term. So I think everybody should really be proud when they say it, and especially to suppliers, of course.
Great. Agreed. Totally agree with you. Again, who are we agents for? We use this term agent, and a lot of this is in your independent travel agent training manual, by the way, too. So make sure you've gone back and looked at these concepts there. But just quickly, we're agents for our customers, certainly our travelers. But the piece that we can sometimes forget, or new agents don't realize, is that we're also agents for the travel brands we sell. And a good way to refer to travel brands are there are partners. There are travel partners. And we even have preferred travel partners. Now you'll hear the term vendors, suppliers, and those are all good and they all mean the same thing. But I certainly like travel partners and preferred travel partners even better. So those are the terms that I prefer to use. And that refers to Royal Caribbean, Hertz, Marriott, all the major travel brands that you know and trust, that IntelliTravel works with. And we, of course, work with everyone of reputable standing in the travel industry. And then we have about 25 preferred travel partners, which you can find in the preferred travel partner directory in your back office, right? Now, always remember, if you use these terms, see, this is why, excuse me, words are so important. Because if you train yourself to use the right words, then you will remember the concepts. They'll stick with you. They'll become sort of organic and natural for you. So if I use the term, excuse me, guys, if I use the term preferred partner, then I'll always remember the spirit of partnership, right? And what is partnership? It's a two-way relationship. we sell their product, they compensate and support us back, right? And when we think of partners, we're respectful and protective of partners, right? That's kind of what the term means. So if you use the right term, it'll keep you on the right track. I think that's our point here. Now, we refer to the golden rule. And we're going to start with this. Two separate businesses, two separate companies, both of them great, right? Now we have separate prices and payment for someone who you are sharing the opportunities with, right? So they see your Planet Marketing website, they see your authorized PowerPoint presentation that you're using if you're holding an event, and your other authorized materials from Planet. And they all very clearly present this properly, that IntelliTravel has an enrollment fee and a monthly fee. Separate from that, Planet and that opportunity to have a network marketing business has a separate enrollment fee and monthly fee. And this is not bundled together at one price. That would be a mistake. And that would be non-compliant, and that raises legal issues. So we very carefully designed this, along with Donald Bradley, Andy Cawthon, your leadership, very carefully designed this to make sure your business is built on solid ground and the right principles and stays compliant. Make sure you're not compromising this, okay? Because we know the materials are correct, but we do hear from people who say that they have not been told about the opportunity in this way, okay? That they were not, it wasn't explained to them that there were two opportunities, that they weren't given the option that they could do one, they could be a Planet marketing representative and build a network marketing business and not become an IntelliTravel agent, or vice versa. If they were really interested in selling travel, they did not have to become a Planet marketing representative. But certainly they could do both. So you really have to be clear on this, and we want to make sure we underline that for you. Now, some people are just builders, some people are travel sellers, but Eileen Ross, one of your great leaders, a top director, says something that I think is really important. The goal is to be hybrids. The goal is to take advantage of both. The goal is to make money from two opportunities instead of one, right? Also, if you're a network marketer and you're looking to build your teams and you're selling the IntelliTravel product, you're going to be much better at selling the product if you really understand it yourself. So we would love everyone to be both, but it's important that you present it as options, separately priced, separate companies. Remember, those travel commissions can pay for your business overhead, and we have now hundreds of examples of that. People who are making travel commissions, and it's paying for both their Planet and their IntelliTravel overhead. And then in addition to that, they're making sales commissions from Planet. Now, next point is never mix other businesses or products with your IntelliTravel business. And this, I'm sure any good business, any good brand would have this same rule, because we don't control whatever those other businesses are. We don't control their quality, we don't control their fairness, we don't control how they treat their customers. So we don't want to allow our brand to be tied to another brand that we don't control, because in a sense that makes our agents responsible for this other brand through association. Okay, you're going to be associated with XYZ brand and we don't even know who that is or what they do or how well they do it, right? So you never want to mix other businesses or products in any of your marketing with the IntelliTravel business. And let's make this really practical for you. In person, you're never going to speak to a travel industry partner about any business except your IntelliTravel business. That means you're going to talk about your travel sales, your travel customers, the travel product, and your travel product knowledge and your learning. Those are all great topics to speak to a travel industry partner about. So you've met a Royal Caribbean business development manager, or you're at a travel trade show. These are the things that you talk about. You do not talk about your network marketing rank. You don't talk about building your team, your downline. You don't talk about compensation from any other business, including Planet, with your travel industry partners. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. They're amazing and excellent, but they belong in the right context. They don't mean anything to travel industry partners, and they distract from where those partners want your focus to be, which is selling their products and earning commissions. And we never want to create that concern with our travel industry partners. We have a 25-year reputation, and when they think of IntelliTravel, let me tell you what they think of. The executives at all those brands think innovative, very effective travel selling company. That's what they think, and we want them always to think that, right? Now, the other thing that you don't talk about is your own personal travel needs. Not with a travel industry executive, not with a business development manager. You don't talk about fam trips or agent rates. They don't want to spend their time on that. They want to hear questions from you about selling their product. They want to hear questions from you about selling groups, about marketing ideas, about asking for support. your personal travel needs can be taken care of elsewhere and through all the other systems and the FamTrip listings and all the ways you can do that, but you don't want to take an industry partner's time with that. Okay, it sends the wrong message. It makes it sound like you're less interested in selling travel and more interested in just traveling yourself, and that is not a message that they want to hear. Now, a shortcut to compliance is, oh, sorry, skip that for you, is to use the materials provided to you by IntelliTravel, like our Facebook and Instagram posts, to share them. If you're concerned about some of these rules or you don't want to take the time to try to figure it out, maybe you could just share what we give you. And the same is true of all the other marketing materials and travel offers, emails, all the things we share with you. That's your marketing content. Certainly welcome to generate original marketing content too. I love that. But that takes you into another area where you have to start being aware of the rules and making sure that you're compliant. Tara, maybe you want to talk a little bit about social media guidelines since you helped author this for us. What are our 3 simple rules? Just 3 simple rules of social media.
Yep. So social media is a very important part of all of our businesses today, especially when we're talking about travel, because really what better way to market that you can sell these amazing destinations and amazing vacations without social media and showing this beautiful picture of the resort or the destination or a video perhaps. So social media is important, and it's really extra important that we make sure we are following these guidelines on social media, because guess what? We're not only sharing what we post on social media with just our clients and our friends and our community, right? Guess who else happens to see and check all those posts? Our partners. They're checking, and you may not think, but we have certainly gotten, responses from partners of things that they're seeing on social media in the past that they've just, questioned or brought to our attention. So this is why social media is super important. It does not mean just Facebook, does not mean just Twitter or Instagram or Periscope or any other social media website this actually applies to, okay? So anything out there in the virtual world that we all live in. So the first very simple rule is Planet posts are only about Planet posts. So if you're going to post something on social media about building your team or the network marketing opportunity or recognition from a team member, you may not mention or hashtag IntelliTravel or a travel partner brand name at all. You may also not combo that post and have it relate to any travel offers or IntelliTravel staff. And unfortunately, even though he's a superhero, that kind of includes James Ferrara as well. And here's the reason why: because suppliers are paying attention to James and myself and Mary and other agents as well, and other IntelliTravel staff members as well. Okay, so that's really important. You may not mention hashtag IntelliTravel, travel partners or brands, travel offers, or IntelliTravel staff when you are mentioning a Planet post about team building, network marketing, recognition, or anything thereof. Rule number 2, IntelliTravel posts are only about selling travel. So these are posts that mention IntelliTravel, our travel partners, and our travel offers. They may not mention Planet or Planet marketing relating topics, right? So that kind of talks about the 2 things. Rule number 1 and 2 are super the same, basically, right? They're super simple, and they're very much the same. So that means when you're talking about Royal Caribbean, only talk about Royal Caribbean, okay? Talk about your experience on there, the ship inspection you did, the FAM or seminar at sea you did, and so on and so forth. And, oh, by the way, this really great offer you have to offer, this current promotion going on right now for Royal Caribbean, period, end of post, right? Rule number 3. No posts about other products or businesses with IntelliTravel. So that means you do not mention any past network marketing, team building, previous recognitions with previous companies other than Planet especially, but Planet included obviously, but you do not mention any other past or current opportunities by name in any post. Very simple, 3 rules. They kind of all are the same thing, right? It's basic thing, the golden rule, which is 2 separate businesses, right? kind of applies to the same thing in all these rules. So SOAR compliance, share whatever IntelliTravel or the society or IntelliTravel managers post on our Facebook page, of course. Use those. There's a reason why we post those, so that you can recycle them, so you can share them. You can even copy and paste them if you want it, and put a personal touch to them if you'd like. If you don't want to just share it and put a message in the share, you can copy and paste and post it. Just make sure that it is compliant with all of these 3 guidelines.
Great, Tara. Thank you. Let's move on to business cards, advertising, flyers, and the use of logos, right? I've already seen some great comments, by the way, in the question box. You guys are right on it. You get it. You're even asking us to to underline some of these policies and be stronger about it. So I really love your feedback. Thank you. IntelliTravel's logo has great value in the marketplace. It really stands for something. It stands for 25 years of quality, reliability, and reputation. It is recognized. So we must protect it carefully so it continues to deliver value for you and all of your fellow agents. So here are some basic rules. And again, this is all in your training manual and in your back office, but it's great that we're able to go over it together tonight. You may not combine companies on one card, one ad, or one flyer. I've already seen a question about, can you have a business card that combines both your Planet Opportunity and IntelliTravel, and I think you can guess already what the answer is based on what we've covered with you about the golden rule, right? The answer is no. You must have separate cards because they are separate businesses. You would not have a single card if you were a lawyer and you also owned a restaurant, right? Which is kind of common. There are lots of people like that, but you wouldn't have on the back side of your lawyer card your restaurant business, right? And you wouldn't do the same with Planet and IntelliTravel. You do need 2 separate cards. It's a minor investment. Both companies have great print partners and bring you incredible value on that score. You can beat local printer pricing all the time because we've put together these big partnerships. But they must be separate. If you're doing a flyer for an event, is it a Planet event or an IntelliTravel event? It cannot be both. Okay, so you have to make that decision. The logos may not appear together because that confuses things. It's either a Planet flyer about a Super Saturday or an event that you're having, or it's an IntelliTravel flyer about selling travel. You may not, most of you know this already, but you may not reproduce the IATA, ARC, or CLIA numbers or those organizations' logos on your materials. And that goes for any other travel industry organization too, unless you have express written permission to do so. And these organizations do not give permission to do it. So those things cannot be on your materials. And with CLIA, if you earn your Master Cruise Counselor or Accredited Cruise Counselor or one of those certifications from then that comes with its own set of rules about what you can do with those certifications on your materials, and that's fine. But I'm just talking about your basic numbers. These are secure numbers. In the case of IATA, ARC, and CLIA, these are numbers that identify the agency for commission payment, and they are not meant to be shared with the public. So people get them a little confused sometimes. I've seen people make up their own business cards and they put the agency's IATA number on there. That's a serious security breach. You cannot put those numbers out in writing to the public. Also, if you receive an ID card from CLIA or a certificate from one of these organizations, you do not have their permission to reproduce that. I've seen this done a lot, and we've had to notify many agents about this. When you receive your CLIA card, you are not allowed to put a copy of that CLIA card up on social media. Okay? CLIA owns the image of that card. They own their logo and their name. They control it. Those are trademarked properties, and you are not allowed to reproduce them. They also consider it a security breach, even though you might white out the numbers or whatever. They do not approve of that. So it's something you may not have known. Do not take your CLIA ID card and reproduce it. You can reproduce your Dreammaker certificate from IntelliTravel and any other certificate that you might earn for education, as long as they expressly tell you that you can reproduce it. You will find, for example, that Disney is really tight on this. And while you may graduate the Disney College of Knowledge, it comes with rules about what you can say about that and what you can't say. So if you are a graduate, make sure you look at the packet you get from them. You get pins, but here's something that's little known. Just an example of how stringent Disney is. The pins that you receive when you graduate their program, you're not allowed to wear them. They're for display only, and they come with a rule that says you're not allowed to wear them, because Disney doesn't want people representing themselves as specialists. They want control of that, and so they have these rules. So be sensitive. Realize when you're working with another company's logo or identification numbers or certificates that those are properties that they own, and they make the rules about how you can use them. Certainly, supplier logos, you can reproduce anything we've reproduced. Disney has a strict set of rules, so if you're going to make up a flyer with a travel offer from Disney, there are things that you have to put in that flyer, like that they own the trademarks and all the rights are reserved and so on. And you'll find those rules in any supplier's travel agent portal where they give us marketing materials. They'll also have a marketing compliance note there and tell you exactly what it is you're allowed to do, not to do, and what you have to say. And Disney is very, very stringent about this. Okay? Now, if you do produce any original materials yourself, IntelliTravel has a mandatory marketing review, and you must do this prior to any use. You cannot publish anything until it has been reviewed if you've created it yourself. If we've provided it to you, you don't have to worry about it. So again, that's a great reason to take the shortcut and use our materials. You don't have to worry about marketing review. If you've created it yourself and used your creativity, I love that, but then you do have to take the step of submitting it to customer service at IntelliTravel.com, and we have 5 business days to turn that around and get back to you. It must be reviewed and approved. Again, shortcut to compliance is to use the materials, use our official printer. You're going to get the lowest price, the best quality. They're incredible designs. You can track your orders online, so you have all that convenience. But here's the thing. Compliance is assured. You don't have to have any marketing review if you use what we've provided. Let's talk a little bit more about trademark usage, and this is particularly about the logo and the company name. You may not change or alter the logo. You can only use the official logos that are provided to you in your back office. There's a logo library in your back office. It's very easy for you to download and use, but you can't change them. You can't cut them up. You can't add to them, or you must use only the official logo. And I'm sure you guys understand this. Any good company has these same rules to make sure its identity never gets degraded or confused, right? So here's an example of what's provided in your back office. And there are different versions of this provided: color, black and white, higher resolution, lower resolution for different uses. But it always says IntelliTravel.com with the full official logo and the words independent travel agent, so that you are never confused with the corporate office. It must always be clear that you are an independent agent and not the corporate entity, the corporate office. So anytime you use the logo, if you use the official logo, it's going to come with these words attached to it. If you're just using the company name, you have to make sure you identify yourself in everything as the independent travel agent, and so it does not appear to be something from corporate IntelliTravel. And as far as the name goes, just like I was explaining about those other companies, the name IntelliTravel is a trademarked name. It is the intellectual property of IntelliTravel, and you cannot use it as your email address, your social media account name, or in any website that you may create as the website address, for the same exact reason. because it can create confusion that instead of being an independent travel agent, you are somehow the corporate office. Okay, so you can have Bob's Tours and Travels if that's a company name you work with, or you could just have your name, but you cannot have Bob IntelliTravel at gmail.com. You cannot use any version of our company name in your email, your social media account name, or your website URL.
James, can I hop in here one quick second? Because I just want to elaborate a little bit more on the social media name. Just if we can hop back off of printed material and just online for a minute there. That goes also for groups being created or Facebook pages being created using the IntelliTravel name. So we have seen, and perhaps many have received an email and corrected it themselves, but there are groups being created. And even though it might be a private group or you think it's a private group, you are accepting people that you do not know if they are agents or they are not. So even if it's a private group, it does not mean it is protected. There should be no group name or page name at all using the trademarked name IntelliTravel. You can have a personal Facebook page, Tara Minson, that lists my employment as an independent travel agent. You can then use the IntelliTravel Independent logo on the page when you're posting about travel offers, share our travel offers on that page, and so on and so forth. But the name of the page or the name of the group should not consist the name IntelliTravel in any way, shape, or form.
Excellent. All right. Now let's talk about selling points. You are so excited to be in Planet. You see the opportunity to earn money selling the IntelliTravel business. You may or may not be an agent yourself. It doesn't matter. If you're in Planet selling IntelliTravel's home-based travel agent program, we love you. Okay. When you're sharing the opportunity, use the correct selling points. And this is selfish almost in a way for you. Let me explain to you just this simple idea. If you don't use the correct motivations, if you don't use the correct selling points, what are you going to wind up with a couple of months down the road? An unhappy customer, an unsatisfied travel agent who is going to leave your downline, who is going to change your qualification, who's going to affect your compensation, who's going to call you and take your time because they're not happy because they didn't get what they thought they were going to get, or they misunderstood the benefits. So use the correct selling points and you will make sales that stick, right? I think everybody understands that. And some of this is going to come as a surprise to you guys, I know, because in prior opportunities that you may have been involved with, a lot of what we don't see as correct was allowed at those opportunities. It's okay. It's not your fault, and it's not your fault that you don't know this. We haven't done a lot of communicating on this. We're just starting now. So please don't feel that we're berating you in any way. We're trying to help you. We're trying to help you sell better, sell stronger, and keep those sales, right? So incorrect, get paid to travel. And if I wish we could open up the phone lines and I could ask you, why is that incorrect? I think there are many of you who would know. But let's take a look. It's incorrect because it focuses, when you say get paid to travel, it focuses on the individual's own travel, not on the selling of travel to other people to make income. Okay? We must always present the income opportunity of being an IntelliTravel agent, selling travel and earning travel commissions first. Personal travel and savings, and I want you to get this, it's okay to talk about that stuff. Okay, and a little bit later, I'll tell you a little bit more about why. It's okay to mention those things, but they are secondary to the income. So always talk about selling travel, earning commissions, and the income opportunity first. Okay, that must be the primary motivation. Here's another one that we've seen a lot. travel at wholesale prices. Now, for the same reasons, because what's that about? Again, that's about the agent's own personal travel and savings. It is not about income, and it is not about selling travel and earning commissions. Now, the other problem we have with it is it sort of sells industry privileges like fam trips and agent rates. And we're not in the business of doing that. And let me explain. We don't sell perks. We don't sell agent rates and agent privileges because they're privileges. We don't control them at IntelliTravel. We can't guarantee them. They come from the industry and really from our partners, and they're discretionary, right? The partners could decide to offer them or not offer them. So you can't sell something like that. You don't control it, right? And of course, they don't want us to sell it. That's not the intent. The intent is they're provided for education and to generate sales. So we have strict rules about the use of these privileges. Using them as a primary motivation to recruit new agents is a serious violation, okay? It's okay to mention, as I said, the lifestyle has always been part of the attraction of the business, but get the priority correct. It's income and earnings first. If you're making a list of benefits, what's going to be on the top of that list? Income, travel commissions, income opportunity, home-based business, earnings. That's what's going to be first. Then next on the list can be you'll travel more, you'll travel for less. You can mention those things, but get the priority correct. Okay? Own a travel website. This is not a regulatory issue or an industry issue. For IntelliTravel, this is a competitive issue. At some other companies, they sell websites. That's the way they position themselves. But IntelliTravel is so much more than a website. We actually have the history and the relationships in the travel industry that give you a full, accredited, recognized home-based business in travel. We offer free websites, yes, but it's just one of many power tools and resources. So don't sort of step down and compete with the companies that can only offer websites. You have so much more. There is no real competition for IntelliTravel. So don't give that away. Okay? IntelliTravel is more than a website. And then finally, and this is a big one, tax benefits. I mean, again, this comes from prior experience. I know there are other companies who talk about it. And even way back in our history, let's be real, we talked about it too at IntelliTravel, but we learned. I think other companies have not learned or don't know, but we do know. Don't give tax advice. It's a tremendous liability for you, and it sounds wrong to most of your prospects. It sounds like you're scamming the system. Everyone knows that there are tax benefits to any home-based business, so you don't need to talk about that. And talking about it crosses a line and puts you in danger, and we don't want to see that happen. Then some people really take it very far. I saw someone advertising on Facebook that you could deduct the cost of your pets as canine security for your travel business. And, you know, you have to chuckle for a minute. Okay, I'll give you that. But you have to also think, if an IRS officer saw that, or somebody with a mind to turn someone else in saw that, you could wind up in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And that's trouble you don't want. Trouble with the IRS is trouble nobody wants. So just don't go there. IntelliTravel does not approve of any statements about tax benefits. Okay? And again, that's about saving your own money. It's not about income opportunity, which has to be the primary motivation, right? Not personal savings, not benefits. Those things can come secondary, but we don't want to be talking about tax benefits at all. Now, let's talk about industry privileges, fam trips, and agent rates. Mentioned it a little bit. Certainly, it's one of the great things about the business, and it's always been an attraction to the business. You can get agent rates on hotel rooms, on cruises, on car rentals, on vacation packages and tours. You can get entry to theme parks, shows, and attractions discounts, or even free. You can get complimentary upgrades, we know, and all kinds of VIP attention. And then there are preset fam trips out there all the year long, all year round, that are available to you as a bona fide, recognized travel agent. Why are these things available to us? It's really important that you understand that. Certainly they're available as a thank you. Still, for most brands, most partners in the travel industry, most of their business, 80% or more, comes from travel agents. So they see these perks and benefits as a way to thank us, right? To say thank you. They certainly see them as an educational opportunity. There is a hotel chain out there that says you've got to see it to sell it, right? And they're right. I think it's Millennium Hotels that says that. They see it as an investment in future sales, okay? Getting you to come on their tour or to visit their hotel or to be on their cruise ship is going to lead to future sales for them. That's the way they want to look at it, and they look at it, and they're right. The term fam trip, in fact, comes from the word familiarization, right? It's travel agents getting familiar with the products that we sell. So if you understand the why these things are available, then you immediately understand how we're supposed to use them, right? And first off, you have to understand that these are privileges. It's not your right to have any of these things. Suppliers could take them away tomorrow if they wanted to. They won't, because of what I told you about where their sales come from. But you have to have the right attitude. You're not entitled to these things. They are privileges for all of us. They are at the discretion of the partner, and they are never guaranteed. So if a partner says no, and you understand it's a privilege, not a right, then you'll react in the correct way, right? If you were to react angry or demanding, that would be incorrect. And that would lead to significant consequences. We have a general statement that we like to make about this topic, and that's right here at the bottom. Any agent who makes use of a professional privilege or FAM without the sincere intent to learn about and promote the vendor's product and service is in violation of his or her written agreement with IntelliTravel. Okay? It's a strong statement. We make it on purpose. About industry privileges, a few tips. First of all, you always want to confirm the qualifications required by the supplier. Some FAMs or privileges might be reserved for agents who've proven their ability to sell travel. Maybe you need to have earned your own IATAN card and be on an IATAN list. Maybe you need to be a CLIA member. Maybe you need to have sold a certain number of cabins for a cruise line. Maybe you need to have completed their education. All of those are possible qualifications that you would need, and you want to make sure you're upfront and you confirm that with the hotel, the resort, the cruise line, the vacation company, because the last thing you want to do is show up at the counter and have your rate changed on you because you don't meet the qualification, right? Now, we have a tab in the back office, and in the prior screen, you can see it here on the right, agent-only FAMs. And there's also a training manual section entitled Travel Agent Rates and Privileges, and everything is explained there. Your obligations as a travel professional when you take advantage of these offers. There are frequently asked questions there, like how do you find these opportunities to travel? Who can go with you? How do airline discounts work? And so on. It's all there for you. There is required reading. There is an article called How to Travel Like a Pro, Do's and Don'ts of FAM Trip Travel. It's tips on behavior expected of you when you're traveling, how to follow up and create relationships with the travel partners, and very important, if something goes wrong or you have a criticism, you have to work through IntelliTravel. When you're traveling on a travel industry rate or you're on a FAM trip, you have to work through us rather than complaining directly to the partner. And if you think about that for a minute, I'm sure it makes sense to you. If you're traveling at a reduced rate, you're a guest of the partner essentially. You don't want to go to them and complain. That could strain your relationship with them. Let us take care of it for you. Contact support at IntelliTravel, and we will get involved and help you resolve whatever it is that you need to resolve, or we will bring your criticism to the partner, but we'll do it in such a way that it doesn't harm your relationship with them or IntelliTravel's relationship with them. So what we say is, if you are taking a fam trip or getting any of these reduced rates, you must read this article, How to Travel Like a Pro, Do's and Don'ts of Fam Trip Travel. Really, it's 25 years worth of experience and really good sense, guys. You're going to want to read it. Keep in mind that we do encourage our travel partners to comment on the performance of IntelliTravel's independent travel agents. And we do that, again, to protect all of our agents. If there's a report of unprofessional or aggressive or demanding behavior, it will be thoroughly investigated and there are consequences. You might forfeit your privileges for a while. You might wind up getting dismissed as an agent. We take it that seriously because we have to protect those relationships and we have to protect all agents. The good news here is that this rarely happens. We can count on one hand the number of times this might happen in a year or two. Okay, so that's the good news, because I think we do a good job of communicating with you and helping you understand the rules and the norms in the industry. We don't have these kinds of problems, but it's important that we get together and talk about it. The world is your classroom at IntelliTravel, so get out there, learn, share, and sell. Now this is the fun part. Well, I've taken a little of the fun out of it, right, Tara? Because we've blocked out some faces and names and whatever. We are protecting the innocent, or maybe the not so innocent, but we don't want to embarrass anybody.
This is the wall of shame.
Exactly, but it's a really great illustration of some of the issues and what to watch out for. So let's take the first one on the top left. And here there's a number of issues, really. It says travel agent, it's got Planet logo, so there's a bit of an issue there. But the biggest one is, I am getting paid to travel. And I think that image clearly came from a prior opportunity and has been recycled now under Planet and IntelliTravel. And we want that out of there, right? Also, if you look in the copy, this was a common mistake when we were in pricing. This goes back to when we were running our introductory half price offer, but you could do it now too, where in this case this representative combined the offer for IntelliTravel and Planet as one price, $99, or you might do it now as $199, and didn't explain that these are two separate opportunities with two separate prices, and that's a bad mistake. Okay, got to watch for that. On the right-hand side, a couple of issues here. They've taken the IntelliTravel logo, and cut it up, actually, which we absolutely do not allow. So here you only see a piece of the logo for some reason. And then we've got the words tax write-off, which is just, if an IRS agent saw that, they'd be all over you. Okay. Further to the right, someone's posted an article, and I don't know where this article comes. I think they authored it themselves and then put it through Eventbrite, on learn how Uncle Sam will pay you for being a home-based travel agent. That is trouble in a box, guys. Do not do that. In this Planet marketing ad here, travel at wholesale. That is not a selling point for IntelliTravel. And make money while you travel, again, puts the emphasis on you traveling, even though it's talking about making money. It's not while you travel. It's make money selling travel to travelers. That's what the industry wants to see, okay? Down in the lower left, if you're still paying full price to travel, we need to talk. Now, we might give the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe this is about our great deals. Maybe it's about IntelliTravel's exclusive travel offers. and that would be okay. But if this is about you should become a travel agent so you're no longer paying full price to travel, that is not okay. Okay? That is not the motivation. The motivation is the income opportunity, earning travel commissions from selling travel. And again, at the bottom, in the middle, exclusive travel agent rates. So here we're selling the perks that we don't control. We're selling the privileges that come from the travel partners. How do you think Marriott would feel about that if they saw that? Or Royal Caribbean, right? Save thousands on your taxes. You already know how that goes, right? In this one, I'm sorry, this moved, but it says take advantage of wholesale travel 24/7, which is incorrect. In fact, I've been in the travel industry for 25 years, and I don't even know what the term wholesale travel means. There is no such thing. That gives customers or travelers the idea that we pay a certain price for travel as a travel agency, and then we mark it up. And that is not the case, right? This is not a wholesale retail kind of structure in the travel industry. So it's even a nonsensical statement, but it's also the wrong motivation. And then here's an example of an Embark card from CLIA, and we whited out some of the stuff, but it was reproduced online, and that's a violation of CLIA's trademark rules. It's trademark infringement. And at the very bottom in someone's Facebook account, they got their title as travel agent at Planet Marketing, which I know will come as a surprise to Donald Bradley and Andy Cawthon and your leadership. There are no travel agents at Planet Marketing. There are creative, achieving, very professional and talented representatives, distributors, leaders, all of that at Planet Marketing. The travel agents are at IntelliTravel, right? Now, I think it's important to take a moment and show some correct selling points too, and then this is it. We're done after here. But there are some people who are just doing an amazing job. And here we left the names, right? We're going to let these guys get some credit. Want to start your own business or book a trip? Contact me. I am your IntelliTravel travel agent. Let me make your travel dreams come true, specializing in certain types of travel. And then at the bottom on the left, it says, want to become a full or part-time travel agent? Please call me. So that's okay. This is all okay. This is so well done. It also looks great, by the way. It's a very nice design. It's just the IntelliTravel logo. It's just about being an IntelliTravel agent and selling travel. Love it. Very good job. Here from Wes Garner, who's in the UK and is part of the Society of Intelligent Travelers. Here is an example also of how to do it right. Travel the world, make additional income, be your own boss, all great selling points. At the bottom it says Society of Intelligent Travelers, professional network marketer, online entrepreneur. Excellent. Wes got it right on the money. Very strong, I think. On the right, someone describing the society, giving all of the benefits, getting them correct. And then in the bottom, at the bottom, if you want to know more, we have webinars. I can send you a video. Just ask me how. So a really nice job there too. Bottom left, Crizel. And then I realized adventures are the best, and I'm not sure what the rest of it says, but what I like at the bottom is she titles herself an independent affiliate and travel agent at IntelliTravel.com, right? And a travel business marketing rep at Planet Marketing. Perfect. Just perfect. On the right-hand side here, you see our official business cards. And again, they'll cost you less. They're already pre-approved. You know they'll be compliant. So order the cards from the system. It's a no-brainer. And then in the middle here, I thought it was interesting to include Melissa's ad. I'm not really sure what Melissa is selling. It's work from home, and ask her about it. And you know, of course, it says travel agent and whatever. This guy in the middle, I'm not sure what Melissa is selling, but clearly Felicia at the bottom is buying it. whatever it is that Melissa is selling, Felicia wants it. So I just thought that was pretty funny. There are many, many more examples. We'd like to hear more from you. If you see examples, if you have examples, and you send them in to us, we'll build them into the presentation. We could use more examples. Here, monitoring and enforcement is our last point. We regularly monitor social media and other channels for compliance with all of these policies, and we do take quick action on violations in order to protect the investment and the reputation of all IntelliTravel agents. So here's what you need to do. And I love this guy on the Segway or whatever this is with the little blinking hat. Okay, this is Tara doing compliance. Here's what's really important though. You may be looking at this presentation tonight and you say, oops, I did that, or oops, I did that. We need you to go back and remove the non-compliant material. First of all, no one will know you did. If you put up something weeks ago, it's gone as far as social media is concerned. No one's going back and looking at it. Remove it because it will live on. It'll come up in searches, in search engines. So it's very important that if we ask you to make a correction or you see yourself that you need to make a correction, that you go back and remove or edit the material. Don't leave it out there. And we already did talk about the consequences, and I'm sure you guys understand. Following these rules will maintain the value of the IntelliTravel brand for all agents for a long time to come. You do have unlimited support, of course, from IntelliTravel, so take advantage of it. First, read that training manual and the online FAQs. Look at the Quick Start Guide. Come to the Customer Service Forum webinars. That's every other Friday, so every 2 weeks. We do a live webinar at noon Eastern Time on Fridays with the customer service management, and they take your questions live and you get great answers. So, and you can talk about some of this stuff there too. We do have new how-to videos coming out. I've seen a few questions about that, and this is interesting, Tara, but if you look in the question box, a few suggestions that we come up with a system where people have to look at videos on issues like this and then take a test. And of course, that's exactly what we're rolling out. We've been talking about it all year, and it is now in the final stages. So we'll be making announcements in the next couple of weeks, and you will see a 17 video online academy, 17 short YouTube-style videos on all the major issues for IntelliTravel travel agents, including one on this very topic, on marketing compliance. And there are short quizzes that go along with that to determine that you've absorbed the material and understood it, and you pass the online academy. So there's complete support for you now, even with the new videos. I know we went a little bit late tonight. Tara, are there any questions that we should
Yes, I've been chatting and typing away, James, while you have been talking, and I'm going to actually get a few questions out of the way. There were some common questions in here that some of which I deleted, and I'd like for us to answer some of the other important ones in here and just elaborate on some of the other questions. But first and foremost is, I'm happy that everybody appreciates this webinar, and yes, it should have happened sooner, but like James said in the beginning, we were kind of controlling basically what we saw online, and we needed to compile this presentation in order to do it properly because we saw that the violations were just really getting out of control. All of these details and stuff and everything, all of the topics and points that James hit, believe it or not, are pretty much covered in your training manual as well. However, it just doesn't, be as direct. It's not going to sit there and say you cannot include Planet and IntelliTravel in the same sentence. So it's not as direct in the training manual, but that's why we did this webinar, especially for our Planet reps who became agents. Second biggest question on here, so I'm happy everybody appreciates it, and if you'd, like James said, if you did something wrong, don't panic, don't worry, we're not going to come knocking on your door. Now you all know, so from this point on, you may get an email if we see something incorrect, because now we all know we're going to do this webinar again and refresher every month or so that everybody can be has a reminder as well. Just fix what you previously did, like James said, Facebook business cards, or anything else out there, fix now before it becomes a big problem later. This webinar will be hosted and posted on your Planet library as well as on your IntelliTravel back office site, so you can absolutely listen to it again and replay it again if you'd like, and share it if you'd like internally, but it absolutely is going to be available for you. Some other really great questions on here, and James, you can pick actually some that you'd like to promote as well, answer as well. But first is your Dreammaker certificates. Can you post them on social media? Absolutely. Post them on social media. That is training that we're talking about that you should be proud of, and certification that you should be proud of getting. And when you post it, talk about how you are Dreammaker certified, IntelliTravel Dreammaker, and talk about what you can do for your clients. In that same post that you're talking about your accreditation, with Club Med that you just graduated, the Club Med Academy, talk about Club Med Resorts and the current offers that you can sell them. So combo it, but of course, brag about your Dreammaker certification. You earned it. The next question on here is talking about the IntelliTravel website. So some confusion with your names being in the IntelliTravel website and how you can use that. The IntelliTravel website, your personalized website that you are provided with from IntelliTravel, that is obviously completely marketing compliant, right? So when you use that website, it's okay. You can put that website on your email signature as long as it follows all the other rules, right? You can put it on a social media post as long as it follows all the other rules. So don't use the IntelliTravel personalized website when you're talking about a Planet post. Use your IntelliTravel personalized website when you are posting a picture on social media about an offer or posting an offer. Or I've even seen, amazingly, agents taking a general travel photo and putting some really inspirational quote on it, okay, and then just simply tagging it with their IntelliTravel personalized website. By all means, those are completely appropriate. You are allowed to use your IntelliTravel personalized website in that use. That is being marketing compliant, as long as when you use your website, you are not using it talking about any other businesses. Okay. James, you want to answer a question or two in here as well?
Yeah, Jamie's had a really good question that I want to make sure we get to, which is, can I be at an event and market Planet and show the various products and services offered, like Disney Vacation, budget rentals, Carnival, etc.? And Jamie's, that's where the problem is. If you're marketing Planet, you can only talk about Planet. Planet does not sell Disney Vacations or budget rentals or Carnival, right? IntelliTravel does. So if you're at the event and you have an IntelliTravel table where you can sell the opportunity to become an IntelliTravel agent, then you can have those suppliers. Or if you're selling travel yourself, of course you could have those suppliers. But you can't have the table be a Planet table or have yourself listed as Planet and then look to have travel suppliers as part of your presentation. Those two things can't go together. There was another one too. Cindy asked, how do we do travel parties or showcases without introducing both Planet Marketing and IntelliTravel? Well, we're not saying that at all. Of course, at a travel party or a showcase, at an event, at a seminar, you're going to talk about Planet and you're going to talk about the product Planet sells, which is IntelliTravel. That's okay. We're referring to advertising, social media posts, business cards, printed materials, that sort of thing. You cannot mix the two. But of course, if you're having an event to sell the opportunities, you can present both opportunities. Just remember to present it with compliance. You present them as two separate opportunities, two separate prices, right? And the option to do either or both. You can recommend they do both, all of that. But in fact, we've had a couple of comments tonight in the question box saying, gee, when I signed up, I wasn't told that I had the option. I was told I had to do both. People are writing that tonight. So it's really important we get that right.
Another great question in here, Alice actually asked, when making a personal reservation, should I be calling the vendor or making it through my IntelliTravel website? So this really doesn't have to do with marketing compliance, but the answer, Alice, to that question, I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to turn it into a marketing compliant question. So the answer to that question is, we always recommend you use your IntelliTravel website, because if you're making a reservation for, let's just say, yourself and 6 other family members, right? And you're booking it at a commissionable rate, which means it's you, your husband, your sister, your grandmother, your godmother, your grandparents, and your 10 nieces and nephews. If you're going to get the commission on that booking, book it through your IntelliTravel website because it actually saves you the step of having to register it. But I'm going to turn that into a marketing compliance question, which is that example that I just gave is the perfect way that I believe everybody should look into booking their personal trip. Okay, we all travel as a travel agent. One of the perks, obviously, is you get discounts, like James said, and fam trips and agent rates and everything. But sometimes the agent rate for some resorts isn't as great as booking the commissionable rate. So I would always recommend looking at both. And by all means, if the commissionable rate is the same or better, book it as an agent commissionable rate and then get the commission on your own travel. And you know what? Guess what? Guess who's happy? You're happy because you're getting the same, discounted travel for your family, obviously. And your supplier is happy too, right? Because they just look at it, they just got a booking. They don't know that it's an agent rate. So they look at it as like, that you are a profitable agent. And you know what else you just did? You just added to your total commission that you earned, which helps you in a lot of other areas when you have to reach that 80% commission level and you have to have $5,000 in commission earned. That all adds to it, right? It counts. So when possible, I would always recommend you look at the agent rate, but also look at the commissionable rate because you might be a better deal for you as well.
Okay.
All right. You want to take one more question, James? And then, there's a lot of great questions in here. A lot of what was answered.
There are so many. Tasha asks, when speaking with a vendor, should I be saying IntelliTravel.com or my own business name if you've created a business? If it's a travel business, use both, but always make sure you mention IntelliTravel.com. That's who the vendor is going to know, right? And that's where all of the credit for our business, your business, goes and gets consolidated. If you just talk about your personal business and maybe you're selling $50,000 worth of travel this year, but IntelliTravel's selling over 50 million, right? So what's going to get the vendor's attention, right? Always mention IntelliTravel. Then if you have another name that you use just for your travel business, not for Planet, not for anything else you do, you can mention that as well.
I've got a great question here, actually talking about the rules for setting up a vendor's table at a public event. Great question, Francis, and the answer is all the other rules actually apply. So as long as you are not putting anything else on that table that has to do with any other business, be it your Planet business, be it your real estate business, your water filter business, whatever it is, as long as that table that you are setting up in the hopes and with the goal of selling travel, okay, is only about travel, then you are completely fine.
Okay. There are a lot of really good questions here. We also encourage you to take your questions and email them in to customerservice@intellitravel.com or call for support. We are there for you. But please, before you do that, a lot of these questions are covered in the training manual. And the FAQs that are online in your back office, the frequently asked questions. So go there first. This way we save the live support for the trickier stuff and maybe the more meaningful stuff for you. I always say that, try to get your simple questions first through the training manual and the frequently asked questions, and then go ahead and contact customer service and agent support, and they'll help you with any of these questions. Also, come to one of our live events and ask your questions there. We'd love to see you, love to meet you, and come to every other Friday to our customer service live forum where you can ask questions as well. Really means a lot that you came to this webinar tonight. It means that you're thinking the right way, you're being smart about your business. It means that you want a business that has a good reputation and a solid foundation, and that really means a lot to us. So we're really proud of you, and I want to congratulate you for being with us tonight. Tara, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
All right, that is the end of this webinar. And again, we will do this webinar again, of course, as a reminder and refresher for everybody and anybody who missed this webinar. It will also be available for replay in your IntelliTravel back office agent site. It will also be on your Planet Marketing Library site as well. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. Just some really quick reminders before we do a prize, because I haven't forgot about the prize. But I don't know how many agents on here right now are dream makers, but I hope you all are dream makers or soon to be dream makers. Join the IntelliTravel team for one of our roadshow appearances. That's right, we're coming to you. So get some amazing training from the top travel suppliers as well as the IntelliTravel executives. There's limited space at these events, so pay attention to emails and registration instructions. And as soon as you get the email, make sure you reserve your seat immediately. More dates and cities will be announced soon. But we've got coming up, we've got Birmingham, Alabama, Charlotte, North Carolina, San Diego, California. Up next on the road, on the block to be announced, is New York, New Jersey area, Memphis, Tennessee, Fort Lauderdale, and other great cities following that. So pay attention to your email box. We only email you with important information, so if you are not getting IntelliTravel email addresses, to your email address, make sure you contact customer service, and they can give you some quick little tips to make sure you are getting every IntelliTravel email address. And again, we're giving everybody a facelift. Well, maybe not really a facelift, but IntelliTravel is hard at work at rebuilding and redesigning your agent back office site. We have added so many more tools and features for you. Plus, we have made the user experience simple and seamless. We cannot wait for you to lift the curtain here and actually show you how beautiful we have grown together. So watch your email and watch for the announcement. And we will certainly do a live webinar, of course, taking you through the back office, but we cannot wait to unveil the beautiful new us. And that's it. Again, our podcast every single week. Make sure you check your email box or go to your homepage, and there is a link there with instructions on how to download the IntelliTravel podcast, depending on what other device you have. All right, let's get going with our prize, James. And there has been so many great people on this webinar this evening. I actually lost count of what we actually had, but there's a lot of people on here. We're going to pick somebody completely at random. And this winner this evening is going to actually win a IntelliTravel, let's just call it an IntelliTravel swag bag. So we got an IntelliTravel tote bag filled with all kinds of great things like IntelliTravel clothing, hat, luggage tag, neck pillow, baseball hat. Hopefully I can have a jacket or a golf shirt in there as well, and some other great tools and prizes in there. So I'm going to pick somebody. Again, it's completely at random. I know everybody asked a lot of great questions, so I wish I could pick the person who asked the most questions or the best questions, but there really was so many of us. Okay, I've got Raymond Hunt. So congratulations, Raymond Hunt. You just won your IntelliTravel swag bag gear. So feel free to post that on social media and brag about how lucky you are. All right, that's it. Thank you, James, for doing this, of course, with us. I know that everybody was super appreciative of it. And thank you, everybody, for dedicating the hour and 23 minutes here into helping grow your travel business the right way and making sure you are marketing compliant. All right, so I hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July weekend this weekend, and have fun and safe weekend, whatever you are doing. And that is it. Again, I'll see you guys back here, same time, same place next week, but that's it for us. So good night, everybody.